Hello and welcome to this OXID Academy training. In this video, we will have a look at translations for modules and also want to be able to switch the currency. For that purpose, we use a module that adds a simple banner to the header area of the shop. Currently, the text is hard-coded in the template in English language. This needs to be exchanged with translation variables. Translations are added with two key features: the translate function in Twig templates and the translation files stored in your modules directory. We start with the files. These must be placed in a specific location within your module, and the files follow a defined naming schema. There are different locations for front-end and administration area translations. We need front-end translation in our example and therefore have the possibilities of directories translations, applications/translations with uppercase letter A, or applications/translations with lowercase letter a. The last two are options if you decided to go with an application directory inside your module structure. You see this structure in the shop itself, source/applications/translations. This is why some developers prefer to use this structure, and this is totally okay, but we recommend to drop the application directory and simply put a translations directory in the module's root directory. Inside the translations directory, you must create separate directories for each language. We create EN for English and in this example DE for German. In both places, you must create your translation file. This file must end with the string _lang.php. For the full name, we recommend to use your module's ID and the language abbreviation. The content of the files is just one array named A-lang. The first element is the char set, which is always UTF-8 in current OXID eShop versions. The following elements are all the translations defined by an identifier, which is the array key, and the translation, which is the corresponding array value. As you can see, the identifier is prefixed with the module ID. You should always prefix your language variables, since these are used globally, which can result in doubled identifiers from several extensions. We recommend to simply prefix with the module ID followed by an underscore. The module ID must be unique anyway. Then you can be very sure that there is no other variable with the same name. Depending on the language, the files will have the matching text for the same identifier. One file for English and one file for German. Pay attention that we also use placeholders %s for title and price of the product. That's it with the files. Now we must replace our raw text in the template with the translations. This is done by the mentioned translate function. This function needs only one argument, which is the item that is simply the identifier we selected in our translation file. However, we decided to go for some placeholders in our text and must provide more arguments. Required is a second argument called args, which is an array of values for the placeholders. In our case, we used the product title template variable that was added via a controller and the formatted price variable we will prepare inside the template itself in the next step. Even though your number may look good, you probably miss a currency sign, and lastly, when you switch the currency at the top of the page, you will run into a wrong presentation. To ensure the correct presentation or manipulate the value afterwards, you can use provided Twig extensions from the OXID framework. In our case, we can use the format_price function. This function can take some arguments. The one we must pass here is the currency argument. This is done via an array as second argument. The first argument is our current price value. The currency can be retrieved from the OView object, which is available in all templates. The object gives us the method getAcCurrency. When using these functions, we can ensure to always display the prices in the correct format like they are configured in the shop settings. Pay attention that we use Twig set function, which simply defines an additional variable we can then use in our template. In the above example, we set the variable currency by using the getAcCurrency method from the OView object and then use it in the second set statement where we build our final price presentation. The variable formatted price can now be used in our sentence instead of the product price variable we outputted before. Whether you switch the language or the currency, you should now always see a suitable output in your shop. For more information and tutorials about the OXID eShop, check out our other videos or head to the online documentation.